Classify quadrilaterals. You can classify quadrilaterals using one or more of the following attributes. So we have the overarching umbrella that describes all the following characteristics, called quadrilaterals. You've learned about this before in earlier grade levels, but just to review, it's a polygon that has 4 sides. Well, there's a specific type of quadrilateral called a parallelogram. So let's draw a parallelogram. So its characteristics or attributes are that opposite sides are congruent and parallel. We can show this by using tick marks. So I might show one tick mark for the 2 sides that are parallel, and then I'll use 2 tick marks for the other 2 sides that are parallel. So there are 3 types that fall underneath this umbrella that have those attributes. One is a rhombus. Another is a square. And another is a rectangle. So let's take a look and draw those. So there are the shapes. Let's give some attributes to each of these. So a rectangle is a parallelogram. So I use the parallelogram symbol with right angles. The square is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides and with 4 right angles. And so we remember that a square is a rectangle, but the arrow does not go the other way. A rectangle is not a square. And then a rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides. So a rhombus is a square, could be a square, but a square is definitely a rhombus. The reason why I say that is that if the angles are not right angles, then it's not a rhombus. If the angles are not right angles, then it's not a square, rather. Sorry. So let's take a look at a couple of properties. Here I see that all 4 of these get the same hash mark because all 4 are equal. For the rectangle, these 2 sides get 1, and these sides get 2, and I can continue using more and more hash marks for the sides that are different. And then over here, the rhombus, all 4 are equal, so I can use the same hash mark for that one. The last one that I want to talk about today in terms of quadrilaterals, we have parallelograms, all these types, but then we also have something called, you've learned about this before, and next year you'll learn about its area, trapezoids. Because trapezoids are four-sided figures, but they do not have parallel sides that are opposite to each other, two pairs of parallel sides. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So this is right. This is isosceles. And this is irregular, or not regular. A right has one pair of opposite parallel sides. An isosceles has the same and base angles are congruent. And irregular and the right trapezoid has a right angle, right base angle. Irregular just has one pair of opposite sides. So taking a look at this, here's our right angle. These two are parallel, which we use as arrows. These two are parallel, and these happen to be equal. And then these happen to be parallel, and that's it. Finally, identified our angles that are congruent with arcs. All these are right, and then we have their base angles for the isosceles being congruent.